Today is Monday, June the 21st, 2020, and this is an IG Live to bring you some spiritual guidance for the week. I'd love to invite you, whether you're watching this live now or in the future, to take a moment, take a deep breath, and set the intention that you get whatever you need from this, whatever information you need, whatever support you need. My intention is that you be given exactly the information that best helps you on your path, whatever it is, and that there be lots of synchronicities to help you ground in, and that you feel supported and you feel nurtured by the energy of this call, and you feel realigned, loved up. I'm doing very well. I'm here in LA. I just had a properly socially distanced picnic with a dear friend. Yesterday there was the amazing Day of Healing event in Venice. That was definitely worlds coming together and things happening. Seeing healing happen on a large scale. Definitely liking where we're going. So yeah, let's play you guys a little tuning fork. Let's see if you can hear this. Calling in guides of truth and love to help the information come through in a way that supports and nourishes you and moves out from you in fractals to support and nourish others in this world, with the long view of living on a garden earth where we all love each other and appreciate our diversity and knit together and weave together a beautiful society of peace, harmony, art, innovation, creativity, spirit, affirming technology, and the like. Okay, so we just had our new moon. I don't know what month I'm in. June the 20th was the summer solstice, and a new moon and an eclipse. So I hope that the new clarity of vision you've gotten during this time of great endings and great beginnings is making you feel supported and empowered and wanted and understood, valued. Everybody knows being super badass right now, breaking down barriers, moving through doorways. So I would assume that you are too. So congratulations, and you're doing a great job. Yeah, seeing really beautiful things happen. Like I said, yesterday was the Day of Healing event. If you want to have more info, go follow Shelly on Day of Healing 2020. She's going to be doing more events like it. It was kind of a festival prayer. It was a sit-in, but there was music and there was prayer and there was just so much beautiful energy. Oh, and Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers and all the people who hold the father energy. I like Father's Day. I really love something I've been doing in my own thought experiments lately that I wanted to come talk to you guys about, but it's still forming in my mind, is things about the divine masculine that I appreciate. Things that are beautiful about masculine energy. And yes, we all have feminine and masculine energy within us. So we can all do all the things, but just as I certainly love certain things about feminine energy, I love being a woman this lifetime for certain really things that I just think are delicious. I also really love certain things about masculine energy when it comes through in the masculine flavor. There are certain things that are just wonderful and delicious and unique. And one of them that I don't get to see very often, but when I do, no matter what shape it comes through, I always love, is how masculine energy praise. How they pray, how they talk to whatever their God's name is, depending on the tradition they follow. You know, especially in the circles I've walked through, philosophy and alchemy and thought leaders and stuff like that, there's a lot of talking about spirituality, talking about the interaction. but actually just doing it, and the power and the force and the faith that was being celebrated yesterday was, I don't know all the terms, I want to be respectful, but I believe it was Yoruban, like the African gods, and it ended up with Yamaya, a prayer to her. And I know Yamaya, she was actually appearing to me for years before I knew who she was. So I have a wonderful relationship with her. And so it all felt really amazing. And it was in Venice, so you had to pass through the Venice boardwalk to get there, and there's some really dense energy there. So that was cool. All different tribes are represented. It felt good, and it felt like a big deal in a subtle way, which I really love. It also helped me plan a little bit more of my July 4th event by seeing what's happening and seeing what inspired me to go certain directions with it. So yeah, more on that soon. But what you can know now is, yes, there's going to be a gathering in LA, and you can also do it from wherever you are. We're going to be online too. So what else? All right, let's pull some cards. So I'm going to pull 2 things for you for the week of June 22nd. Oh, also the new moon was the the thunder stag moon, or the thunder buck moon. And today in meditation, as I was starting to build things, I'm doing a lot of structural work on the grids lately, as we're kind of dismantling and remantling our Legos of our world around us. I was seeing this structure of gold and energy that was kind of flowing through and growing. And after the fact, I realized it looked kind of like antlers. I was like, of course. I was just today. Like, of course. Oh, yeah, it's the buck moon. So, and that's also the green man. So if you are into the Celtic or Fae traditions, the green man is one of their main divine masculine energies. So yes, okay, back to the masculine energy praying. There was this tradition that I saw that I thought was so beautiful, when they would call forth their gods, when they would mention their God. And this is men and women were doing this during this time, during the prayers as part of the sit-in lineup. And after they would say their God's name, they'd kind of like do a shout out. It was in another language that I don't know, so I didn't know what they were saying. But as someone who's of a completely different faith, you could feel the God come in. And there was a couple of really cool synchronicities that happened that I was like, yes, y'all were holding it down so beautifully, so peacefully, powerfully though, all of the feels, but in such a way that is a coming together of tribes to feel each other, be around each other, talk about it, and then we can heal going forward from that. Once we really understand what the problem is, once we really understand each other and see that we're all the same, we all just want to hang out and live lives that are good and take good care of ourselves and each other and be treated well by each other and treat each other well, that kind of thing. Okay, so the first thing we're going to pull from is the Kuan Oracle, the pocket edition, which I wanted for years, and then I finally got just recently. I've got myself some spirit treats after all the work I've been doing this spring, and it's been nice. Okay, we're just going to shuffle these cards. Kuan Yin, if you guys don't know who she is one of the bodhisattvas. And bodhisattvas are a group of very evolved souls from the Eastern traditions who chose to stay around on Earth, even though they could evolve farther if they wanted, because if one of us isn't out, we're all not out, and so they stay behind. I think that every path is needed. I think some people need to go ahead to make the paths. I think some people stay behind. I think it all just depends on your calling and what the situation is, you know. So Kuan Yin is a bodhisattva that is so compassionate. So she's a great one to call when things are painful, because she sits with you. She doesn't fix it for you necessarily, but this is stuff like grief that you can't really fix. You just have to ride it out, and you can just feel her presence. Similar in some ways to, I think, how people celebrate Mother Mary in the Catholic tradition, like that kind of energy of that maternal, loving, infinitely patient, infinitely compassionate vibe. So, with that in mind, let's see who we got for this week. Which face of Kuan Yin? I just got this one a few days ago. So good. We got Sweeping Sister Willow. So I'll read to you what it says about her. Sweeping Sister Willow. Here is healing that brings with it forgiveness and the release of old pain. As Sweeping Sister Willow gracefully sweeps any sadness and pain from your heart and soul, your time for greater inner freedom is dawning, and the cleansing of sadness and healing of forgiveness create the pathway to that greater freedom now. You deserve this freedom, and you are swiftly becoming ready to claim it. Eclipse season is a great time to let go of old wounds, of to say, I will retain the wisdom and the knowledge that I learned through being broken, in whatever way I was broken by the world, and I will rebuild stronger and be better for it while I fully remake myself into an empowered being, a strong being. I don't have to be weakened by my past pain. I can be strengthened by it. But in order to do that, you have to actually heal it. So this is the part where, when you have any grief, when someone you love dies, when something leaves your life, it just slowly happens, and one day you wake up and it just doesn't hurt as much anymore. And the next however long after, it just hurts a little bit less. The pain's still there. Sometimes it'll spike, but there are these times where we just get kind of a healing and a cleansing. So I would love to send you some of that energy right now. That feels good. Okay. So if you want to receive it, if you don't want to receive it, if you're watching this in the future, you can fast forward, or you can stop watching if you're live. Okay. So just sending you energy to heal your heart, energy to sweep away any of the old wounds, sweeping it away gently, like dusting. Only the things that are ready to go, and filling those spaces instead with golden light, warming if you need it, cooling if you need it, soothing if you need it, activating if you need it, swirling through you, showing you that you're whole, reminding you that you're perfect just the way you are, and that you deserve love exactly the way you are, and you deserve to love exactly the way you are, in all the ways, in all the flavors of love. Okay. All right. Let's pull a rune. My rune book, I got it used, and I use it so much that it's coming apart. Does anyone know how to rebind a book? I think I can just do it with some kind of tape, maybe, but this one page worries me. Clearly, I love this book, and I cherish it, even though you would think that I didn't. But I got it I didn't get it here. First edition was $89. This is the 13th printing in 2006. So this little paperback is 14 years old. Bless its little heart. I gotta fix it. Okay. You guys know how. Tell me how. These runes I got on my way to my very first ever overnight music festival, which was Desert Hearts in 2014. And I was going with one of my goddess sister friends, and we stopped at this little metaphysical store. And I got these runes, and I also got my Lenormand deck, which I really love. So those are my two divinations, and I'm going to have to look this rune up probably. There are a few that I know I'm learning them, but I'm not a confident enough rune diviner yet. I feel the one that I want. It's just the shape of it. Kind of gives me a little electric zap as I reach in the bag. So I may have to look this up. I may not. We'll see when we get. I will. Oh, okay. Yes. This one means abundance coming. It means like receiving your inheritance. I think it actually means cattle, but it's back from when cattle meant abundance. Let me look it up to be sure. Like I said, it's like straight up with a couple of upward lines on it. I'm gonna find you the picture here. Let's see. No, that's not it. I love runes. Fehu, Fehu. This is what it looks like. I know it's kind of hard to see the rune, because the rune color is gold of the stone and the paint is gold, so it's not really coming to the camera all that well, but you can see. All right, this is what it means. To the Northern Europeans, this rune meant cattle in archaic times, Cattle were the measure of a man's worth. Oh, and also I'm a Taurus, and I was talking about Tauruses today, so I think that probably maybe has something to do with it, well, at least for me. Okay. They gave him status within his tribe, and they kept him and his family alive. Through hard work and careful husbandry, his herds would prosper, calves would appear, and he became richer. As time went on and cultural behaviors changed, gold and other materials replaced cattle as the primary indicators of wealth, but the rune of Fehu remained a symbol of earned income, something which has to be worked for, but will produce an expected source of revenue. It's a rune of material gain. It usually indicates prosperity coming to you. Also fulfillment, something which you've been striving toward will finally be within your grasp. It signifies overcoming opposition, whether personal, like another individual thwarting your plans, or impersonal, like a bad situation or time frame, etc. It suggests that you have what it takes to win out over the opposing forces through diligence and hard work. Okay. It can also indicate a fortunate new career opportunity, or because of its association with something earned, a fortunate financial investment. All right, so that's the first part. That's what it actually means. And again, this is what it looks like. Clear. Fehu. Fehu. F-E-H-U. You can also look it up too. The runes are a pretty well-known divination system. There are lots of different things explaining them. Okay, now the second part of this book tells you how to use it for magic, how to use it for. First one was for divination, so what is it telling you? Second one is what can you use this for? Fehu symbolizes primal, uncontrolled fire. Its energy is that of the Big Bang and of lightning strikes in the wilderness. It is the power of generation at its most basic level. Its energies are totally wild and very useful for magic involving swift, radical change. Ooh, that's nice. So you draw a line. Oh, and this is I'm not sure if this is backwards. I think so. So how it works is you draw a line in the center, and then to your top right, you do 2. So for you guys, it might look like this. I can't tell. But the central line, and then to the right, you do 2 lines going down. Okay. So it's good for when you want something to move really quickly. So say you set an intention, if you want to use rune magic, at the end of it, as you're sending it off, you would draw that rune on it, and then that would be extra oomph if this is something that appeals to you. Okay, so you can use it to hasten affairs to their next stage. It says you use it after the subject runes in your rune script. So if you're making a line of them that are going to affect each other, you would say what you want, and then you'd say this right after to be swiftly or epically or whatever. Increase in monetary wealth, protection of valuables, and it's the sending rune. You use it to send either your energy or the energy of the runes out into the formative spheres. Perfect. New moon, eclipse. Yeah, let's use Fehu. Let's see. In my Healers Guild right now, we're talking about clearing, grounding, aligning, centering. I have them throughout the day, every day, all day. Clear, ground, align, clear, ground, align, clear, ground, align. Spin what you are, because we're in a huge time of transformation. We're in a huge time of things changing. So more than ever, it's important for us to decide exactly what we want, exactly what we're signing up for, exactly what we're aligning with. What do you worship? Everybody has something that motivates them and gets them to move. For some people, it's things in the material world. For some people, it's things in the spiritual world. For some things, certain emotions they're chasing. All of it's fine. Just align it with what your integrity says. All right, I'm going to show you guys a couple new treats I have, and then let's chat. So start typing in your stuffs, and I will scroll down and see what it is. Okay, I got myself 2 things. I like to give myself treats. I'm a Taurus. I can't help it. So first thing, okay, so this is funny because I was just researching water plants. And I wanted to get some water plants. So I watched some videos on YouTube and all the things. And I saw that you can get jars exactly like this. And then they would do this, but fill it up with water. And I thought, ooh, that's cool. I'm going to think about that whenever I'm in a pet store next. I'm going to go look and see. But then it's also, changing the water every day, da-da-da. So I was at Trader Joe's, and they had these air plants. And they were like $4 or $5. And they're perfect. And it's like the water plant, but even less maintenance. Once a week, I take it out and soak it in water for 30 minutes. And then I just put it back in there. It is called a Tillandsia air plant. And it's a little happy little creature, and I love him. And I feel like one of the things that I feel very connected to is the fairy realm, the Fae realm. I feel like part of me is from that place, and I like to interact with it. And I feel like this is a little, kind of a little refuge for the Fae in the area. I can be like, here, come in here when you're in the city. So this is the Tillandsia new air plant that I got. So yeah, if you imagine it huge, I feel like in my dimension there are a lot of plants like this that are really big. Okay. Second thing, speaking of water, out of water, I got a new hair comb that's a mermaid. This was an Etsy buy. I forgot the shop I got it from, but it's made of alder wood. It's handmade. I waited for it for a few weeks. It came from the UK. And it's alder wood because my hair is getting such now that I'm wanting to have like fancy combs for it. So it's kind of, the comb has just been cut. I only used it once for the first time today. So I think over time I'm just going to keep oiling it. And I'll use it in my hair because it's a little rough, but not rough, just a little sharp. Over time, as the oils for my hair get on it, and I'll put coconut oil on it and lots of other things. And my hair's been changing personalities lately, so I'm trying to learn it. Okay, so those are my treats. I just bought, as a solstice present for myself, a new Marmo necklace. And it hasn't gotten here yet, but I'm so excited. It was very synchronicitous, and it had lots of fun surprises as I was getting it. So I'll show it to you guys when it gets here. I'm going to wear it all the time. I don't know what its name is going to be yet. Let's see what you're saying. Let's see what you're saying, you guys. Okay, thanks, Lexi. Oh, Sarah, you went to Sedona. I was thinking about going there in the near future. I'm going to go off grid this weekend, and I'm not quite sure where I'm going yet, but I need some off time, so I'm going to disappear for a little bit. Let's see. Sarah, I went to the top of Bell Rock with Peter on the Solstice. Epic! Oh, you guys, if you ever go to Sedona, look up on Facebook, Peter Gersten. He takes people to the top of Bell Rock, which is one of the most epic vortex points in Sedona. Then you are in the top of Bell Rock Club, and it's very cool. It's very cool. I would never have gotten all the way up to the top by myself. In fact, I met Peter one day when I was hiking up Bell Rock, and I got to a point and I couldn't go any farther, and I sat there because I knew someone was going to come and was going to take me up to the top. And he came with this little group of guide people he was guiding, and we went up to the top. And we've been friends ever since. That was a few years ago. I took my dad one time he visited me in Sedona. Which, by the way, as quarantine opens back up, I'm so ready to plan another goddess retreat. I already know who's going to cater it. This beautiful goddess. You guys know Donica? Some of you know her. She's going to cater it. We're going to have luscious vegan food. It's going to be in Sedona. I think I'll also do an LA one. Let's see. Okay. Lexi. I love the loving power you speak into existence. A beautiful reminder to do it myself more often. Yay, thank you. That is my wish. That I'd be nice to have around because of the things. Oh, thank you. You guys are giving me the best compliments. Shiny Disco Ball said, your eyes are so soft and sparkly like water. I feel very mermaidy lately. Lemuria is very much. I believe in the multidimensional histories. LA, especially at the beaches, and also San Diego, were outposts from Lemuria because the energy is so strong here. It's just like a portal away, it feels like. Oh, Goddess Golden Light, I just bought my daughter butterflies for her hair. So pretty. Thank you. I love this little thing. It's just a little banana clip. It was one of the last purchases I made before I found out about Amazon and about how Amazon is doing some bad things, treating people badly. So this was like I found it out right after I got this. So I got a little card of like 24 butterflies, but I'm sure you could get it on other websites. They're kind of paper, but I think that they're cool. Yesterday I did Abdu. I was representing the fairies, and I put a bunch of them in my hair for the sit-in. It was nice. I really like them. They're fun and whimsical, and I think a little bit of whimsy is so good for the spirit. I'm okay with being a little bit eccentric. In fact, it opens certain doors where I can be authentic because I'm a little bit eccentric, because I'm a little bit whimsical in ways that my soul likes, needs, values, appreciates. Thank you. All right, let's see. Oh, thanks, you guys. Oh, Victoria, you got chills. I love it when that happens. Okay. Sam, I'm also wanting to know how to bind a book. to keep my grandfather's recipe book. Nice. Yeah, I'm starting to collect recipes. I've been reintroducing gluten into my diet for like the past year or so, and now it's pretty fine, so long as the ratios of what I'm eating are fine. But I definitely notice when I make stuff using gluten flour, it doesn't bug me. And I usually prefer to be gluten-free, but as I've been slowly reintroducing it in healthy ways over a while now, it's fine. I eat it every day, but I love baking things, and so I've found some really good pie recipes, and I keep forgetting to write them down. And I need to remember, take out a pen and write it down, because that is valuable, and you can pass them down. It's cool. Okay. Cynical Millennial. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad that you caught me. Oh, you're a Taurus moon, Samfern. Cool. Yeah, I love being a Taurus. I feel like I'm such an alien that being a Taurus lets me like enjoy Earth life in a way that I'm so off in other dimensions so much that I feel like the Taurus thing is a loophole that I kind of figured out in order to get here, be here. Okay. Ashley, thank God I was just watching Taurus Tarot, asking myself if it will work out. You answered my questions. Thank you. Sweet. I love it when that happens. Okay, have y'all been having crazy dreams lately? Because I have. Sam Kuto, yeah, air plant, life upgrade. I want to get these and wear them in my hair sometimes. That's going to happen. Maybe with that one. We'll see. I have to figure out how to like place it so it doesn't hurt him, but I think I could. Okay. Oh, thanks, Shiny Disco Ball. You guys are so sweet today. I love it. Thank you. What was your experience of Solstice? I didn't share, Red Claw. Lovely to see you. Okay. So Solstice, I made a point to not be on my phone much all day because I've been working a lot. And it's always an interesting balance how much of my life as I'm doing it I'm sharing with the internet, because that's my job and my calling, and how much I'm just doing behind the scenes. And it's a balance that shifts depending on various factors. How much it calls, how much it makes sense, how much I want to share versus I don't. What's going on in my life, where my inspiration is, where my energy expenditure is, how much I'm online for other reasons, you know. And lately I've been having some light burnout because of just all that's going on. And also I'm in a pretty steady schedule and in my ideal life, in my usual life, because now we're still in lockdown over here. So I'm still showing up all the time for my family community. And my actual pace needs like long days of breaks, like days of just kind of drifting around. You guys know, you introverts know what I'm talking about, is what I need. And I'm in need of one of those. So I've been kind of struggling a little bit with that, but I'm going away this weekend to get it. So I'm excited about that. And so I was like, no internet, minimal internet. I'm going to make a point to put down my phone. I'm going to go out to the beach. I'm going to do a little magic. Go see my tree. I pulled some cards. And it felt beautiful. Apollo is one of my best friends in the pantheons. I've been a priestess of his many lifetimes. I've been Oracle of Delphi a lot. So he and I have a very interesting relationship. I've had successive visions of various interactions with him over the years. And my connection with him is awesome. And so I had a cool vision. And I felt the world reset. And actually the moment, it's funny because I was running a little bit behind, I was letting myself mosey through the day. And so I was sitting in my room in front of my mirror putting on my makeup while the actual moment happened. And I felt it. I had to stop. I had to put down my thing and just sit there and feel I felt all these channels open up through my circuitry, like ventilation vents, you know, or in the deep underground temples, how they would have the tubes going down with mirrors that would light it all up, but almost as if the whole thing was mirrored, and I just felt myself getting lit up by all the sun energy. And it took a minute, and so I kind of got into a meditative posture and let it come through and enjoyed it because it was delicious at the actual moment of the solstice. And then when it was done, I kind of got back to what I was doing. I went out to the beach, did some meditation out there. People are still socially distancing here, so definitely kept my space because it's in my little world. It seemed good. There was a lot of people there, but it was cool. I'm really loving the healing, soothing energy in the world right now. And then I went to my park, but I didn't go to my tree because other people were at my tree. There was a really sweet-looking dog with his leash on the tree by some people who were picnicking there. And so I sat on a bench that I've never sat on before in the park, and I just kind of chilled out and looked around at the world. And the world was cool. The park was well populated by people, families, happy families of all different races, of all different ages. Everybody kind of in their pods, socially distancing, but also just good vibes. The world I want to live in is what the solstice felt like. It was good. And then I came back here and I did my ritual and I pulled my cards and I saw, what did I see? Now I'm needing to remember what the cards I actually pulled were. Oh, that I'm going to be working lots with the angelic realm right now. With the angelic realm, asking, connecting with guides a bunch right now. And there's been a lot of Ace of Pentacles lately, which is like the seed in the garden, the potential, the tiny movements that make the big results. So in my work and its constant evolution, again, it's that mixture of what I share with the world, what I put in classes, what I talk about, what I send your way as the way I connect with the world, and what magic I just silently do and spin the vortices and don't talk about or only talk about to the people nearest me to keep it like secret and sacred. And it's really beautiful. I love it. I love what the world's doing right now. I know it's gnarly, but I think it's great in the end, I think that we're really seeing where we all are so we can rebuild in a way that we all want. And one thing I would love to encourage you guys to do, when you think about, I know a lot of you guys are on the same vibe as me with eco-villages. Eventually we'll want to live in small communities who have high spirit tech and live off the land in a way that is integrated with all the smarts that we have and really beautiful, and that kind of shift. I think a lot of people want that. So as you're envisioning it, make sure you're including people of all races in your imagination. As you're thinking of your neighborhoods and these beautiful eco-communities where people gather and where we all garden our own food and where we have small schools right by the nursing home communities and where we honor our elders and where we teach our children together and where we, connect with the earth, where we're going toward. That's what's coming. That's the age that's coming. So make sure that as you do, you think of solutions that we didn't expect. Oh yeah, and then it just made sense. That's great. When loopholes. Big healings in quick times with our little Fehu rune. And unseen solutions. Great strides forward. And lots of diversity. I mean, the food alone is a reason to make you want diversity in your life. People from all over the world, music, beauty. I feel like there are going to be lots of mixed families after this revolution. I feel like a lot of mixed, more social groups, which I'm stoked about. Yes, and appreciating our diversity. Not all needing to be the same thing. Each of us being who we are, bringing cool stuff. Okay, what are you guys saying? Yay, glad you had a good time. Sam J. Fern, I rewatched an old video of yours about the priestess soul retrieval. Ooh, oh yeah, that was a huge thing. I want to work on that sort of thing and have had a few past life memories before. Any tips on how to start? Yes. Study. There are various books you can read. There's various people you can study with. Definitely meditate every single day. And I would recommend the first shamanism book that I studied, the first type of shamanism I studied was Celtic shamanism. There's a really good book called By Oak, Ash, and Thorn by DJ Conway. I recommend it all the time. It's a really good place to start. I had so many magical experiences with that book. There's also Shamanic Mysteries of Egypt, or Shamanic Mysteries of Ancient Egypt, which also changed my life. I've never been the same since, nor would I want to be. So really it's about doing the work yourself, though. Like, you can take any study course and you have to show up over and over and over, because we do not live in a world yet, again, where you can go study in a temple. So it's important to do the work yourself and fact check yourself a lot. Make sure you're grounding into reality a lot as you do it, because it shifts your paradigm, but I know I'd never go back. Okay. Paris, hello, darling. I've noticed all Tauruses hang out with each other. That's funny. That's funny. You know, I don't have that many Taurus friends. There are a couple Tauruses in my life, but I love hanging out with them because we understand the comfy. We understand snuggles. We understand delicious food and pretty things. And we're amazing energy workers because we can feel everything if we like you. We also hold grudges, so make sure your integrity is on check. I don't mean to hold grudges, but I have a very strong integrity line. And I think things change for me. You know, I just find I have to do friendship purgings every so often. It's tragic, and sometimes people circle back around. But we're all just learning how to have healthy relationships, no matter what the relationship may be. And sometimes it's best to be like, I'll see you the next cycle. Okay. Crazy dreams, yeah, shiny disco ball. All right, Ashley, I bought a moss ball 2 years back after watching a video about yours. He's doing great. Yay! I've got mine right over there. He's on one of my altars. The little one in the necklace had a tragic accident. But the bigger one I still have. So, yeah, and I'm just getting a new one, so I'm really excited. I'll show you guys. I only have 10% battery, so my phone may die if it does. I'm sorry. Oh, Paris, you recently had an experience with Kali. Yeah, it was intense. Yeah, she's intense. She is one who I could probably count, maybe on one hand, maybe on both hands, the amount of times I've called on her ever. You got to be sure when you're calling on those ones. Apwash to the Mayan death gods. He actually found me. And then I worked with him and I was like, ooh, like upgrades galore, but don't expect to have your feelings coddled, you know? Seriously. Okay. Ashley, does schizophrenia have a spiritual perspective to it? Do you think the hallucinations could be interdimensional? I've always wondered this. Yes, I do. The first question I've asked everyone who's had a family member in the hospital for schizophrenia is, have you had a shaman come and look at them? Because they're likely seeing something real, or at least some of what they're seeing is real, and they're shook up. You have to straighten it out. So yes, and I really hope that one of the marks I leave on this world after I've gone from here and have my whole lifetime of work behind me is a structure where people can get the spiritual healing they need, because the multidimensional world is very real if you can see it. So you can either drug yourself out of seeing it, or you can learn how to navigate in it. And it's pathologized, and often it can be scary, which is more reason why, if you are someone who's extra sensitive, to learn how to hone your skills so you can be a safe place for others rather than a wild card because you don't know how to handle what's going on. So take the time. And yes, if you know people who've been diagnosed with schizophrenia, it is very likely that they were seeing multidimensionally. Not every time. There's also just straight up hallucinations that happen in this world. But, I mean, I think I was pretty clear about how I feel about it. Thank you for asking that. Great question. Okay. Let's see. Hi, everybody. Ooh, awesome. Oh, Jasmine, us Geminis stick together. That's cute. Yeah, I have a bunch of Geminis in my life. I love Geminis, but ooh, they give you a workout, man. Okay, Ashley, I remember you said he slid down the drain. I still mourn his loss. I think about him sometimes. Like, I know you got reabsorbed in the earth, and he was this big, and he was with me for years, and I cried all day when he was lost to us. Just shows you how you can love everything. All right, Paris, they're not chill. She found me weeks after she found my mom. I'm not sure. Did I miss something? I'm sorry. I'm blanking. I'm not sure. Sorry, Paris. Red Claw. On the note of friends' integrity, how do you feel about when to voice what went wrong and when to let it go without face-to-face closure. How does that feel in you? Great question, because there are layers and sometimes things take time. And so the way it feels to me is I just want to see them or not, or I'm open to it or not. Sometimes I'm like, no, I want nothing to do with you for a while because of whatever. Or I just have stuff to think about. And that's okay. You do not owe anyone your time. You do not owe anyone your time. Your life force is your own. You hang out with who you hang out with because you choose to. You do not have to explain why you don't want to hang out with anyone. It is completely up to you as an adult. And anyone who tries to make you hang out with them. Now, it is nice to show up, and that's on you to know when you're being in integrity. But it's fine to take a break. That's how I feel. And it's fine to take as much a break as you need. And if people love you, then they'll let you take the break. If you love them, you'll be ready to show up when you're ready to show up. You just feel the purity. You can see it in the eyes. You can see it in people's eyes, and have no patience for anything else, is what I say. Tips on dating as a spiritual person. There's all over the gamut. I mean, I could tell you what I prefer, but I don't know if I think it's just do what's right for you. Do what feels right for you. We all go through different seasons and phases. And so integrity, watch for the integrity. Make sure you listen to your first impressions too, because so often it's like, oh, I knew that from the beginning. I just, for good or bad, just honor your intuition, I guess. And also I would say, date someone who's open about it. Be open about your spirituality. You don't want to have to hide it. It's a pain. And there are plenty of people in this world who are okay with being with a spiritual person. So yeah, that's my opinion. That's absolutely my opinion. Okay. Cynical millennial. I've experienced psychosis, but I haven't been diagnosed with schizophrenia. Yeah. Everyone's on some spectrum of something somewhere. So these diagnoses are pathologizing it, and sometimes they're necessary and sometimes they're not, So I think everyone's experienced, various stuff, like manic episodes. I see people have manic episodes sometimes. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what's happening over there. And pathologizing something means that it's such that you can't function. If you function, you can have tons of symptoms and it's not an illness. We're still in the infancy of that as well. Oh, Paris, Kali, thank you for reminding me. Okay, so she found your mom. Okay, you have to tell me that story the next time I see you. I definitely want to know what happened. Cynical, your symptoms were drug-induced. Yeah, that's a different thing because it depends on the drug you're on. Some things are like healing, purging, like mushrooms and stuff. Some things are like zombie makers. Just depends on what your path said, what you did. Okay. Ooh, the book Shamans Among Us, Sam. Cool, about the line between shamanism and diagnosis of psychosis. Awesome. Thank you. That is called Shamans Among Us, you guys. I might look that up. Okay, guys, I got to go because this is going to go dead, and I want to download this so I can share it on YouTube too. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful week. Again, reminding you to allow divine energy to sweep away anything that you no longer need, and also to know that you are supported in going forward, and abundance is coming to you. And one of the beautiful things about this time is that our world is changing. So get really in touch with the types of cycles that work with you. Get really in touch with what you need and what you want to be doing, because we're building a new world. So whatever your heart's calling you to do, you can do it. We just have to figure it out and think different. Let's get all those shackles off our brain and grow, blossom and bloom, and love each other. Okay, I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.